Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. So excited that you've joined me again, yet for another week of Unleashed, where it's all about unleashing from those things that hold us back. Maybe we've been unleashed and we need to stay unleashed from thoughts, from situations, maybe even from environments, maybe even from, like our focus today, social media, digital, books, things that we take in, but we take them in deeper than where they should go. And so, with that, you guys, so excited that you've joined me this week. And I want to make sure, since this one's a little bit more where we're going to be hanging out than me just bringing a full message, this is a two-parter. So, let me say that up front for those of you that are going to be hanging with me. You know that we're going to launch this and you're going to see where I end. And when you see where I end, I guarantee you will be with me next week. And so, because it's a hangout, I want to get back to just doing shout outs and being able to see those of you that are online with me and YouTube, man, do a shout out to me so that I know that you're here because I won't be able to see it, unless you say hi to me or do a shout out or let me know what you're thinking. And man, and if you have questions or if you've got thoughts, and we've been getting that a lot, man, share them right here. And as always, I ask you to please, in this moment, stop what you're doing and share this right now so that other people who need to get it, who see it, it arrives right on time. And so, with that, man, welcome, welcome. And I know that there's some people over here that I want to make sure to welcome. Alicia Evans, welcome, my beautiful friend. So excited that you're able to join me this evening. Also, my beautiful Savannah. Hello, Savannah. So excited that you're here as well. You hang with me wherever I go, Savannah. That now when I log on, I'm looking for you. So I'm so glad that you're here with me again. Also, Patricia. Hey, Patricia Johnson. So excited that you joined me, man, more than you know, excited, especially for this one that we're going to be talking about. And I really want to be able to look at your comments because I want a discussion tonight. I want us hanging out tonight. And I guarantee you, when you see where I'm going, you can probably have a lot to say. And I want to know what you have to say. This is a family gathering. Okay, is all I'm going to say real quick. And then, man, Shannon Menard, welcome, welcome. So excited that you've joined me. Hello. Excited that you're hanging with this community tonight. Jacqueline Princess, what's going on? I know you're going to have a lot to say about this topic tonight. And man, couldn't have it without you. So excited that you joined me as well. Q Dog in the house, excited that you're with me. Sienna, hello, welcome, Sienna. Excited that you're with me more than you guys know. Luke, what's up, Luke? Excited that you're with me as well. Again, you guys make sure you share this. And I'm going to look over here. We got all Facebookers right now, and that is okay. But it'll let me know when we get some YouTubers on. Well, tonight, you guys, is a great topic. And I am going to make sure that it's one of these that I'm going to look at my notes because I do not want to miss anything. Last week, man, it just came from the heart. And thank you to all of you guys who sent me messages from last week. Woo! I mean, that was being DM'd and dinged to left and right with thoughts and what it did to you, or even, man, right here on the page and other posts thanking me for last week. And if you did not, man, get to last week, I really want you to go and check out that episode. Is just phenomenal, and I want you to be able to kind of dive into it. And I like, if you've not seen it, that you get a chance, to go into it. All of our episodes have all been about being unleashed, your identity, when someone loves you, and man, tonight is no different. Our title tonight, you guys, is Who Do You Say You Are? Now, I love a scene that goes down when someone's asking another person, hey, who do people say that I am? Ah, man, I'm going to be real honest with you. That's the world we're living in right now. Who are we saying other people are? We talk about other people all the time. Who said this? Lynn, let me tell you where I saw that. But tonight's question, what we're going to be diving in, what we're going to be discussing is, who do you say you are? And so let me get my superhero glasses on for my superhero vision, is what I'm going to call it. And so I'm going to kind of start off by posing a couple of things to you. And then, again, I want you to use this thread. I'm looking at it. It's right in front of my face. to share comments because I'm going to tell you, I want to put some of those comments, here as well. Well, I've noticed that I've done this. And as I coach people and talk to people, I hear people do it now more than ever, especially because this message we're discussing tonight is not something that came just today. It's been building up from the very beginning when I relaunched all the way to being 3D in my face tonight. How quickly do we say to people, oh, that's not me? Mm-mm. I'm sorry, that's not even me. Or, you know what? I would never do that. Or, you know what? Ooh, that's me. You know what? This is what I think about it. Or, you know what? This is how I feel. We say those comments all the time, almost daily in every situation. When we look at something, when we're in conversations, when we hear something and we're reacting, all the time, believe it or not, mostly throughout the day, we are either saying we are like something or saying we are not like something, or saying that we would never do that, or saying, oh my goodness, that is me. We are identifying ourselves through things that we see, things that we hear. I also love that with all of the things that we are gathering in, taking in with content on digital, on social media, on how many things that we see with what's called shorts, all the video threads that we see on Instagram, all the ones we see on Facebook. We have become engulfed with information. We have become engulfed with visual. We have become engulfed in the lives of other people. See, this started many years ago. And I want y'all to tell me if you agree with me when I say this or if you feel me. We started to get introduced to what was called reality shows. Reality shows were things that took us into other people's lives, that got us exposed to other people's way of thinking or other people's behavior. YouTube is also one that really promoted, even before Facebook came out with the ability to go live. It showcased people's thoughts, people's feelings, people's emotions, what they did, what they didn't do, how they felt about it. And it even introduced something that has become a new library where we go not to a dictionary, where words are formed, where words are explained, where words are in its raw material of information and what it means. We now will go to YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook in order for us to find information, for us to find what people do or how to. It's become now a university. It's become a place that we spend countless hours, countless minutes, and the majority of our day, and wait till I give you this data, on connecting to, on watching, on viewing other people's information. It's now become the number one wave digital television of even communication. We will no longer pick up the phone and talk to somebody. We will no longer, believe it or not, text people. We spend more time on watching the lives of other people, listening to what other people think, getting connected to who other people are. I know you see where I'm going a little bit on this. That I got to ask, and I'm just going to ask it right now, but I'm going to ask it all throughout this. Okay, well, that's who they are. That's what they think. That's what they do. That's what's going on in their life. Those are their emotions. But who are you? What do you feel? When you look in the mirror and you see yourself, what are you comparing it to? Are you comparing it to another example of you? Maybe a photo of you from the past, a photo of you from a week ago? Or are you looking in the mirror, comparing yourself to what you've seen, whether it's in magazines, social media, whether it's on television, through commercials? When you look at yourself in the mirror and you decide that you like yourself, that you love yourself, that you accept yourself, or that you are exactly who it is that you are supposed to be, what helps you make that conclusion? What helps you make that decision? Is it based on your DNA? Is it based on your thoughts and your feelings, or even the way you feel about yourself that you say, this is how I feel about me? This is what I think about me. Is it really coming from you, or is it coming from something else? What is your derivative that you are using to pull your thoughts, your emotions, what you do, what you think, your values, your integrity, even your emotions? What are you drinking from? Whose cup is it? Is it yours or is it somebody else? See, I know that education and information is crucial. It helps us to get informed. It helps us to be taught. It helps us to grow. But what is happening in the world right now is that we are going beyond getting information, learning how to do something, getting motivated, getting inspired, to us drinking from other people's cup. See, to have someone give you information is to take something, but to add to something that is already there. To go to school, to get a degree, means you're being taught a way in which to do something. But what is happening today through social media and digital, we now are identifying ourselves with what we see. We now are identifying our worth and our value by what we see or what we hear. We now are judging ourselves or even, judging other people, which means that we are taking what we say that we believe, making a decision on that, and then judging other people or making decisions about things. That may be just the course of your life. What do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do next? What do you want to do when and how you feel about it? But my question that I'm going to ask you right now, is that really you? Is your answers, your feelings, your opinion, your emotions, where you're at, where you're going, how you react, is that really you? Or is that thumbprints of a plethora of many people? Not just from digital, not just from books we read, not just from television and things that we've seen in magazines, but maybe even people in front of us, people around us, people that are friends, people we're married to, people that are even our children, people who even were the ones that we were influenced by, raised by, taught by when we were a child, all the way to now maybe an adulthood or a young adult. Can you say to me that who you are, what you think, what you've chosen for your life, even how you feel, has not been influenced by somebody else, has not been touched by somebody else, has not even been moved by somebody else? Can you answer the question that if somebody asked you, who are you? What are you doing? Where are you going? How do you feel? What are your values? What do you believe in? Is really based on you and only you? Or is it based on a plethora or multiple entities, people, environment, thoughts, emotions, views, or even things that you've seen or you've heard, but not by you? Think about that for a second. Now, I want you guys to communicate with me. I don't want this to be something that you're on with me and that you're just listening, because I know I'm getting that a lot. A lot of people are logging on and listening, and I love that. And then they're sending me messages later, and I love that. But I want this to be something that you really think about, that you really dive into. Now, in order to really question this, in order to really kind of know the answer, because you can just say right off the bat, yeah, I'm me. I know myself. I know who I am. But really think about that. Let me give you some data that shows you how much we are influenced and how much information that we take in on a daily basis. From insiderintelligence.com, according to recent survey results, the amount of time spent by the average global consumer on different kinds of media in 2022, and this is after the pandemic, varies greatly. For instance, nearly 7 hours, 6 hours and 36 minutes to be exact, are spent on the internet a day. This is only a 4.8% decrease from the pandemic. And everybody's kind of going back to work. And everybody's now back out again. Everybody's now back to life, but only a 4.8% decrease. Nearly 7 hours a day. This is what Insider Intelligence says, based on a recent survey. Statista.com says US adults, according to their survey, spends 13 hours and 11 minutes per day in media, in digital media in 2022, tracking right now. And that is less than last year, only by 5%. Woo! Wow. And then Nielsen. Y'all know Nielsen. They are the ones that get paid to look at ratings. They're the ones that rank all the shows. They're the ones that everyone, when it comes to advertising, when it comes to commercials, when it comes to even if one of our favorite shows gets renewed or not, this is the person that people say is the one to rate the shows. How many of you guys get upset when your favorite show gets canceled, but you liked it, but they didn't? And they're the ones who get to decide what's good or what's bad, not you. I know you're feeling me on that one. Well, according to Nielsen, American adults spend over 11 hours per day listening to, watching, and here it is. Some people say, well, I read, reading, or generally interacting with anything that is media, whether it is books, whether it is audio, whether it is television or social media. Nielsen.com. Now, let me tell you what's crazy about this, and I really hope you're with me, that when we spend over half of a day taking in information of what is other people's thoughts and feelings, opinions, their lives, their emotions, that it starts to affect who we are. We start to get wooed and influenced. We start to now incorporate and take in. We start to now question ourselves based on what we see. And then, oh my goodness, if we're watching something where there's all these comments, all these likes, all these shares, or it's on the page of YouTube, or it's circulating and you see all these people that are talking about it, or you log on to Yahoo, or you log on to Google, and it's the thing that everyone, just your phone on Apple News, that we become wooed by it. We become manipulated by it, and manipulated doesn't necessarily mean something negative. When we are sick, we take medication to manipulate the illness and to heal it, to take it from being something that's causing harm to our body and manipulate it to doing something else. This is where now who we are is constantly touched, influenced, motivated, stimulated by other people's information. It's not your information. It's not your thoughts. It's not your words. It's not your emotions. It is, again, the thoughts, emotions, the beliefs, the reactions, the wooing of other people, other things. So let me ask the question again. Do you feel that who you are when you look in the mirror has been made up of only you? That means when you grew up and now you were able to walk and talk on your own, you were able to now make decisions on your own. You are now able to carve out your life and pave the way and write the canvas story of your life, that your life belongs to you. What about past relationships? What about heartbreaks? Can you really say that when you split up from that person, when you left that job, when you moved on from that city, that all the influences, all the people, all the things you heard, you felt, and you seen from other people detached from you? that you made it a point to sit down and to go and think about your moment, think about your experience, and to take a moment to decide what you wanted to take with you because that was you, who you knew you were, who you thought you were, or this emotion and feeling. You know what? That's what they said. That's what they think. But this is what I know. And this is what I think. Or did those situations continue on with you? Did you pack those up in a suitcase? And instead of leaving those there, maybe that's in your past, maybe that was a week ago, maybe that was at a different location, maybe that was even in a different time period of your life and you left it there. Or did you find yourself, as I'm going to tell you, we all have, that in every situation, from childhood memories we can remember to our teenage years, to our adolescent years, to our adult years, to us being now older, that we've got baggages and baggages of compartments, of files and upon files of all of our life, all of the people that had their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, their beliefs that we took in, that we drunk from, that we maybe instead of just listening to and then assessing it and making our own decisions, we were influenced by all of those things and we took those things with us. So I'm hoping I've seen a couple of things pop up that you are talking to me, that you are telling me, Tracy, I believe 100% that every part of who I am has nothing to do with my past, nothing to do with people that raised me and traditions and what other people believed in our family, that I broke away from that and I started at a canvas. I got where I'm at, but I decided to do me. I decided to now make my own decisions and to start new, and everything that I've done has nothing to do with my past, nothing to do with my pain, nothing to do with my heartbreak, nothing to do with anything. Matter of fact, the things I watch digitally, Tracy, from my shows or Instagram and the shorts and the reels, they do not affect me. I can watch that and I have no emotion. I can watch that and I have no thoughts. I can watch that and I don't take anything from it. Matter of fact, I leave there and won't even talk about it. I won't even now go take what I've seen, take what I believe from it, think how I feel, and go tell other people. There's no way. I've done it. And if someone says they have it, man, I need you right now, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook, to say, Tracy, I've never done that. I want to talk to you. I want you right here on my show, not to out you out. I want to get the cheat sheet. I want to know, how in the world did you do that? Did you move away? Did you maybe get beamed up by Star Trek, and Captain Kirk and Spock? Did you maybe unplug and you went somewhere and you spent years away from society? I want to know, what did you have to do in order to remove all those things, to start at a new you, to know who you are, to know that every part of you has nothing to do with anybody who's been in your life, anybody who's been in front of you, anybody who's been around you, that when you read a book and said, I like that book. Nice book. You put it down. Or did you find that when you read a book, it was because there was something you were needing, something that interests you, something that you wanted, and you read it. And instead of just reading it and writing down points and assessing it to see if that's you, did you drink from that cup? Did you take a sip or did you take a whole gulp? When you see all these superstars that are on and you see, I'm sorry, I've done it, Beyonce's hair, the way they have her on stage, and then they make sure to have those fans blowing her hair, and she did all of this. Man, I'm all like, how do I do that? How do I get my hair? You think I didn't do single ladies in my bathroom? Heck yeah, I did. I know some of you did. That we saw something and it moved us. And we then got, whether it's inspiration or thought, or we reacted, and before we knew it, we were putting it on, we were trying it, we were doing it, or in a lot of cases, we aligned with it, we joined it, we altered ourselves, and we became it. This is truly where I'm going to say the question has got to be asked. Did you cut that all off? Are you able to even sit at a table and not eat the food? Are you able to have a conversation and walk away and leave with nothing? So I've got some comments, I'm hoping. God, I hope y'all are talking to me. Or I'm just going to tell everybody who listens to this in all these other places like Alaska. I got people listening on Spotify and all of that. They're in other places. Netherlands? Oh my goodness. It's crazy. I know that there may be some dead air, but I don't care because I want to know and I want to read what you guys are saying. And so let's take a look here if I've got some conversations going on here. So I've got Jacqueline Prince. She says, this is a loaded question, but it's all facts. Media, thoughts, feelings, and emotions of their lives or even their health journey, etc. It's all true. Whether or it's fake or real, out of subconscious doesn't know that. And it seeps into us, and then it directs a reaction in our lives of how we think we should be or feel, or even what we should already have, like those people we watch. Woo, this is good. I love that. Okay, girl 4XYZ. Oh my goodness. I guess maybe she just wanted to come on and be seen. Y'all way better. Way better. All right. And I see Savannah. For me, it's a combination of it all. Life experiences, family, choices I've made is what developed me to see this is who I am. Now, I like that. Now, so what Savannah is saying, but it's been through all of these things that helped me to really realize who I am. Okay, but my question, and that's my girl, Savannah, is okay, Savannah, but have you ever started at a clean slate, cut all that off, and then start to form you on your own? Then start to think about who you are without all of that? Then start to maybe decide or make decisions or turn over those rocks. You know, I love the movie, and I don't know if I'm going to get the title right, but it's Julia Roberts. It's Love, Pray, and Eat, or it's Eat, Pray, and Love. Those are the three things that are in it. And I love it because here she was, and even when she did The Runaway Bride, everything about her life has all been influenced by other people, even her desire to please other people. She found that the person in Runaway Bride that she was dating, that, oh my God, he likes scrambled eggs, so I like scrambled eggs. He likes to go shooting, so I'm going to go shooting. And then when Richard Gere showed up, which by the way, I was mad that they did not make that another Pretty in Pink, not Pretty in Pink. Oh my God. What's my movie, y'all? The one where Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. Oh my God. Pretty Woman. There we go. Pretty in Pink. That's somebody totally, that's Molly Ringwald. Then I was hoping they were going to do it, and they didn't. They just gave us a teaser, and that is okay because they lived happily ever after. No sense in unraveling that. But this is truly where you guys, and we saw this woman not really knowing who she was. Everybody who'd been in her life, she found that she molded herself to what was her environment, and that her environment molded her to help her truly believe and feel that this is who she was. Just like in Eat, Love, Pray, or Love, Eat, Pray, or Pray, Love, Eat. I love that movie. It was truly about her realizing she had all these influences in her life. She had all these things that affected her mood. That if something happened with somebody else, all of a sudden her happiness got depleted by somebody else's unhappiness. Or all of a sudden somebody else was doing something that she saw on television or that she saw maybe in a book, and then she saw her emotions be affected by it. That even though it's happening to them, oh my God, I feel like it's happening to me. You ever watch something and you see something really bad? I know I do. Talk about when I see kids or people that are beating up an old man. Can you just watch that and it not affect your emotions? It not affect who you are? And then does it not affect how you feel about people like that? Sure it does. This is truly where we're made to react to senses. We're made to react to things that touch us. We're made to react to different sources of things. We're made to react to a source. This is where we've got to really take a look at ourselves and really kind of assess, am I really who I would be? If I didn't have all these things, who would I be? Am I a derivative of the shades of other people? Let me give you an example. I thought about several of the people that I'm coaching right now. Got a lot of people that I'm coaching right now. A lot of people that have started to coach with me just from what we're doing here. And so I'm going to share these stories, and I'm just kind of going back and forth from my notes here. I'm going to share the story of a young man, full ride scholarship to one of the top universities. Matter of fact, he's almost about to be in his last year to graduate. All of a sudden, he's having issues. All of a sudden, you see him just start to struggle. All of a sudden, he goes from this bright, energetic, positive kid to now all of a sudden, he's not taking care of himself. He's showing up looking like he hadn't been groomed today. He's down. You can't get a response from him. You're trying to engage in short one-line answers, and he just looks, when you look at him, like death has rolled over. Something is wrong. This is who you think he is, who he says he is, but now this is who he says he is. Something completely different. Well, as we decided to coach together, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a tough coach. I'm one of those that if we're going to do something, we're doing it, no matter what. Matter of fact, when he got back to himself, he said that he was more scared of me than he was of everything else that showed him the risk of things that he was going to lose if he didn't get himself back. That lo and behold, here he is in college life. In college life, and those of you who've gone to college, what do you see? You see the partying, you see the hangout, you see the fun, you see the smoking marijuana, you see the drinking, you see people even able to do that and still pass. You even see people do that and still be able to graduate. Or you see people hang out with people that they maybe shouldn't be hanging out with. You see all these things happen, and this is college life. How many of you guys have gone to college? And college didn't affect you? College life didn't get you going down and doing things that you wouldn't have done, but everybody else did it. Or feeling things that you felt that you wouldn't have felt, but you felt it. Or even hanging around people that maybe you wouldn't have hung out with, but you did. Maybe it was just because that was college life and it was all around you. Maybe it's because you were lonely and you wanted friends and you wanted to fit in. Maybe it was because what you saw was the picture that was painted to you as to maybe the end result you wanted for yourself. So you felt this is the way to do it, or that I could do this and it would get me there. That lo and behold, after some intense coaching for 2 hours every single session, that is exactly what happened to this brilliant full scholarship kid. He's a young man now. That not only was he watching and being touched by his environment, not only was he seeing what was done and it was okay. Matter of fact, it was what to do. And not only was he getting pictures of stories that showed him this is what people do to be successful, and the people who are successful, this is what they do or what they have. And he thought, that's who I am. That's what I'm going to do. That's where I want to go. So he drunk a full gulp of all of that, and not just assessed it and looked at it, he took it all the way in. And now it was starting to change him, evolve him, to alter him from his pure form of who he was. And now here he was challenged. We also found that he was looking at famous people. Matter of fact, the people that he chose was Drake, LeBron, and I'm going to say it, Kanye West. Now we were dealing with his beliefs, his integrity, his passions, his thoughts. And we found that his thoughts about who he was, based on these three people, that he was somebody destitute, he was somebody less than, he was somebody with issues and problems, suppressed, without opportunity, held back because of the color of his skin. And that he started to identify himself with that he started to alter his life, true story, to believe that that's what he was, that he told himself that he was suppressed, that he was held back, that he was beat down, and that he could never get anywhere unless he was this way. Wow. Full ride scholarship. Top one of the Ivy League schools. Smart, president of one of the most intricate fraternities, even where he's located at. All of those things. That wasn't him. But because of what he saw, because of what was said, because of the hype of that and the thing that he engulfed himself in day to day, every single day, those things became him, even though that wasn't him. He started drinking, started smoking, started eating a lot, because that's what happens when you smoke. I have never done any drugs, but I remember when my friends put me in the middle of the back seat. I didn't know why. When they know I don't like the back seat, and they rolled up their windows and locked the doors, and they smoked marijuana just because they wanted to get me high. Well, I love the fact that my body was already rejecting that lo and behold, we were on our way to a nightclub, a house club in H-Town, 2 stories, bumping music. I think it was like 8,000 square feet. Man, it was the place to go in H-Town. Did we make it? Because what do you think happened to TA? I passed out. And they knew they couldn't leave me in the car. I passed out that they had to turn all the way back to drop my butt off at home. They knew right there, TA can't party like that. No, I couldn't. My daughter, who took me out to TGI Friday, and there we were. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do what you're doing. I'm going to order me a drink. So I ordered myself a mojito. Oh my God. We realized TA can't drink because I wanted to be like everybody else. It was Friday. What were they doing? Drinking. And this looked like the place to be. TA had one mojito and it was made strong. And I'm talking to my glass like it's a man. I love you. And man, it was scenes of Lord of the Rings, my precious. I can't do it. I cannot do it. But lo and behold, because of what I saw, because of what I was around, I remember one of my best friends, she could drink vodka, man. Woo! And she would have all the boys around her. I wanted the attention. So I thought if I drink, I'm going to get attention. I guarantee you, and I'm going to pause it there, that a situation like my young man, some of the funny stories that I just shared, everybody having sex. So I thought to be a woman, to have sex. You mean to tell me that we've never had that? Of course we have. So if we've had it, have you ever had a moment to where now you took a moment to unleash from that, unplug, and really take time to sit down and start with a white canvas and to only focus on you, not based on other people, not based on what you saw, not based on influences, but just you. Have you taken a moment like Love, Eat, Pray, where she had to go to a whole nother country, not to say that you have to do that, to where you've really thought and you've really pondered, who are you? Who are you really? Another person that I coach. This one probably speaks to a lot of us because I know it was me. And this is probably where me and my family had our outs for a while, because Sister Girl Tracy wasn't like that, and we had to get to a place where I loved myself the way I was to stand in order to really have the relationships that I wanted with my family based on me. And then they could decide if that was good enough. This is another client of mine. I love this one. When she came to me almost 3 years ago, she came to me because she wanted to build a business. And I thought, okay. Very quickly on into us coaching, we started to have issues and problems with her being able to stay focused, being able to, now that she wrote her plan, being able to stick to it. Every time that we would get to a place where we were even closer with her pulling the gun, and now going out there, now talking to people, sharing with people who she is, what she wanted to do, there would be this anguish that would come over her. There would be this mental breakdown every time it was time to face who she wanted to be, her dreams, her desires. Fear would creep up, doubt would creep up. All this hesitation would creep up. That finally I had to have a moment with her, and it was a very intense moment. I said, hold up, wait a minute. What is it that is keeping you? You tell me what you want to do. You get excited. We go do all this work, and now it's time to go. And every single time you stop, lo and behold, she takes me back to her childhood with her family. She takes me back to her mother. And she takes me back to the fact that because of what she wants to do, isn't what she was doing that was like her mom. Woo! Her mom was all into fitness. Her mom was all about eating healthy. Her mom was all into this lifestyle, and so was my client, so much that she became one of the top trainers. She also competed, but she now got to a place that she just started to realize that wasn't her. So she wasn't going to the gym anymore. She didn't want to personal train anymore. She didn't want to compete anymore. She didn't want to count any macros anymore. But because that's who she thought she was, now all of a sudden she was having real life issues, a feeling something's wrong with me. I'm not doing the things that I know who I am. I'm a person, Tracy, who goes to the gym every single day. I'm a person who counts macros. I eat healthy. I'm a person who cares about all these things, and all of a sudden I don't want to go to the gym. All of a sudden I don't want to count calories. All of a sudden I want to eat a pizza if I want to. What's wrong with me? Am I losing myself? What's wrong with me? And I've put on some weight, and it's only a little bit of weight, and I'm getting ready to go to my family and see my mom because it's Christmas and the holidays, and I can't go see her because I already know what my mom is going to think. I know what my family's going to say because every time I show up for the holidays, they know me to be the one to be talking about the calories, to be talking about what they're eating, to be the one. And my mom's always the one when she sees me. You're looking good. Look at you. You're looking great. This is my daughter. Look at her. But now all of a sudden, something was happening to my client. Something was happening gravely that every time I would get on the phone with her, she was crying. She was having a total breakdown. She was beyond stress and couldn't focus, and then couldn't even decide what she wanted to do. I don't know what's happening to me. I can't make sense of this. Something's wrong with me. That she started going and getting medical help. She started going and getting blood work done. Now, one of the things she found was her hormones were off, but that had nothing to do with her desires, her life, and who she knew she was. Fast forward, after what I call being in the sweat box with me, we found out that my client didn't even want to do that at all. She wanted to be someone that wanted to be comfortable in her own body, whatever it was. And she wanted to work with people to help them love themselves with the way that they are, no matter what. She wanted people to eat healthy, not to look skinny and look like what her mom said, and all these pictures of her mom and all these magazines. And she says, and the people I hang out with, fit people hang out with fit people. That's all you talk about. That's all there is. And if you're fit, this is how you're supposed to look. So you cannot be fit and hang out with those people. Her whole environment in society, including her upbringing and her mom, were the things that got her to look in the mirror and not like herself, hate herself. And then to feel, because there were other feelings and other emotions going on, that something was wrong with her, because she was not even her own. And now she's on a path to build a life, to build a business that is all about helping people unplug from their past, from their pain, for feeling like they're not good enough, feeling like they're not pretty, feeling like they're nothing, and to deal with real life issues to help women, in particular for her, to truly see who they are in their pure form. And do you realize that even though we're moving forward, that those moments still appear today? That when it's time now to put it out there, she freezes up. and that there's more and more people in her life that she brings forward, from her aunt to her fiance to all of these people, because once you create yourself to be about what other people think, to drink from many people's cup, do you realize that you create a neurological behavior in yourself that to no longer use your own thinking, to no longer process information on your own, stop and just drink from other people's cup, to no longer be who you are, but to be who other people say you are. That even when you say, this is me, and I know it's me, oh, that ain't me, I would never do that, I know myself. Can you really say that who you are is 100% pure to who you are? My last client, this one I saved for last. And I want to make sure, because I did my hair a little bit different and it's kind of warm in here. So my hair is all crazy and it's okay. I feel like I look like I'm, oh my God, I actually like the way this looks. Sorry. And that is my own thoughts. That's not from anybody else. This one's good because both me and my husband, because I got a 911 text the other night, and I tell my clients, you need me, I don't care what hour. If I'm awake, text 911. And I got a lot of clients, but that's who I really try to be. I'm a lot like my friend called Paul, just a friend called Paul. I try to be all things to all people. You may not know Paul. It's okay. I know Paul. Maybe some of you know Paul. Then we get a 911 text. Quint happened to be sitting there. And I thought, okay. So I finished what I was doing because I knew that this was going to probably be heavy, because I shared this story with you, I think, last week on my Someone to Love. And lo and behold, her dad just passed away. So I thought, okay, I need to get my whole self ready to go. Well, she answers, or she calls me back. That's right. I called, she didn't answer. I called twice, she didn't answer. Now I get word she called back. But she sounds like she's not breaking down. Like it's not one of those, the 911 call, where you may even have to get in your car and travel 5,000 miles to go to somebody in Jamaica. Okay. So she proceeds to talk to me, and I hear her husband in the back. And another thing, Tracy, and I thought, oh, okay, hold on. There's two of them going on. That it's now time to put her dad to rest. And this happens a lot. And lo and behold, to make a long story short, one of her family members that's coming into town, that happens to be the sister of her father, called her up and said, okay, funeral's this week. What all do you have planned for all the family coming in? Are you cooking for them? Do you have the hotel stays? Okay, if we're going out to eat, so what all do you have planned for all of the family and friends that are coming into town? Now, let me remind you, this is her father that she is putting to rest. I'm hoping somebody's hearing me. This is not like just a friend. This is a father that she's putting to rest. And this is his sister. And she says, we can go out to eat. There's places where we can all go out to eat. I think that's probably best. Then nobody has to cook. Okay, nobody has to worry. We'll be together as a family because I just don't feel like cooking right now. And do you realize this was the response that her aunt said? This is powerful. Her aunt says, well, I'm sorry. That's tasteless. And that's not how we do things here. Pause for a second. Now, me and Quint had a lot to say to her. When she's in mourning her father, when she's trying to get her composure and to be about herself, to get herself together, but the way that things are done, tradition, family, the way expected is for her to be the one to cook, to have food, to do all this work, to tend to family coming in town, not tending to herself. She was calling me, not because she just wanted to share that with me. My dear friend, not just a client, needed someone to validate her own thoughts that was not right. Come on, let's say it again. She needed someone that she trusted to hear her thoughts about it and just to validate her thoughts when lo and behold, she had her thoughts, but she felt insecure about it. She felt like maybe they were wrong. She felt maybe they were selfish, all because she was told she was tasteless or it was tasteless. And that's not the way that we do things here, meaning that's not the way we do things in this family. Real story. So I come to you and say this to you as I look at our time. All of these things that I've shared with you, including even the stats and the data, all of these things are things that affect others by what is said or even the image that is put in front of us. The image that we see, the image that maybe we've experienced, even the image that is spoken to us in words as to that's tasteless. We can imagine tasteless. That's not what we do here. We can imagine what that is and then try to make us feel that what our thoughts are, what our image is, how we see things, how we feel is wrong. Cancel culture. How you feel is wrong. We're just going to cancel you out. We are in a world today where data and information and what people see and what people watch is greater than ever. The influence of altering people, moving people, changing people, getting people to even be broken down if need be, to feel less than for their own opinion, for their own thoughts and who they are. We've become a society that is totally about what I say over there, not what you say. Who people say I am, not who people say you are. This is where now we've got to really think about who are we? We got to think about what are we? We got to think about where are we? And we got to think about what image are we? Are we truly the image of just ourselves? Are we the image of every single thing, every single image, every single book, every single video that we watch? The shorts, the reels on Instagram, all the videos on YouTube, that now that has become the source of deciding, creating, influencing, even altering or painting an image of who we are to be, what we are to be, how we are to feel. It's everybody else. It's not you. 100% you. You know, I'm going to close because I want to end because this is a two-parter. I got on the phone this morning about something I read. I read it when I was kind of in my time of reading and being before who I believe in. And so I was reading a place where it said something, and I'd never seen it before. And it was talking about what I just brought last week. I spoke from my heart. I spoke from what I thought and didn't care if anybody agreed with it because I knew that was me based on my thoughts, my experience, and what I've derived. Never knew completely all the way to a T, all the way into the last thing I said in that episode. If you hung with me, lo and behold, it was in what I was looking at. And so I got on the phone with a woman that I just hold very dear. And she's a woman where I found myself, like my client, knowing I was right. Because I told my husband, I'm sorry, I know I'm right. But still needing to get validation. Still needing to hear somebody else come and tell me, you're right, you're validated. Not just because I needed it. Was because when I was talking to my husband, you could tell he was doubting a little bit. Even though he believed with the first part, he was all, okay, Tracy's having one of her moments. Okay, babe, whatever you say, yeah, I see what you're saying. That was Quinn last night. So I wanted to validate myself in front of Quint that, see, not only am I right, I want you to know that I'm right. that I got on the phone. And so we started talking about my message tonight because this has been something, like I said a while back ago. It's been in the thread of everything that I've brought. And now it's time for us to take these two episodes and go there. So I'm not bringing everything. This is just opening up our Coca-Cola can. Let me do it again. That's what I'm doing tonight. And this is what she said that I love. She goes, you know what, Tracy? What you're talking about is exactly true. And this is a lady who sits in the UN. And she says, so much, it is more important than ever that we've got to take a moment to unplug and unleash from everything and take some time, long time, to ourselves. We have all been injected with the beliefs and thoughts and even the emotions going all the way to what happened in 2020 that we all saw. It cracked open the surface, seeing a man die in front of us. Come on. Not going to go there, but I'd like to point to that. Look at everything that happened from that. Something that was seen, something that was televised, something that was done. We all had emotions, whether it was good or bad. We all had them. So it's probably good in society with all the information that's been given and even what I gave you in stats today that we all probably need to take a moment, take a long moment, take time to unplug and really assess ourselves if we are really who we are supposed to be, our pure DNA. She goes, because you know, it's crazy why that's important. Because as we get altered, we now start to lose our value. Our value now becomes depleted, she said, because we're no longer our pure self. We are the mixed breed of everybody else. We're goulash. We're not our chili. We're goulash. We're not homemade. We're a combination of so many other things. You know, she said, not to say that we're like this, but let me use this analogy. And she closed it out with this. She dropped the mic. She goes, do you realize that when we go and buy dogs, that a dog that is a full breed, pure breed is worth thousands of dollars than somebody where you don't know where they came from because you can tell they got a tail like a Yorkshire, a nose like a Schnauzer, a body like a Dalmatian, and feet like a shepherd. Do you realize that they actually treat and classify and that worth and value completely different than somebody who is 100% purely themselves? And even though we got here, we must assess, we must think, we must challenge every single thought, every single emotion, every single belief to make sure that it is 100% our own and not influenced by the 7 to 11 hours of influence from every single book, every single video, including my own, which is why you hear me tell you all the time, please go check this out on yourself. Please go look up this on yourself. Get your own opinion. To gather information is one thing. To listen to information is one thing. But instead of now taking it and looking at ourselves and taking it and making it our own, or taking it and looking, does this apply to me? Or taking it and making sure it's something that will add to us and not deplete us, and to be willing to stand in it to say, it ain't me. I know for sure I'm removing that. That we are 100%, all of us, a mixed of everything that we've ever taken in, everything we've seen, we felt, even our heartbreaks, even the things that are recent past, something that happened earlier today, right before you logged on, something that happened in your childhood. We have to take a moment because we've been drinking from not our cup. We've been drinking from the cup of thousands. So who are we? So I'm going to look before I close and say goodnight because I want to make sure if any of you guys have said something to me where you've asked a question and I didn't see it, I want to make sure. So let me get these. Oh my God, I got a lot of comments. I love this. Okay. I'm going to go to Jacqueline again. She says, I think it's a combination of packing up what I've seen and heard mixed up with whose I am as an individual. That's good, Jacqueline. Savannah. For me, it's a combination of it all: life experiences, family. I think I read that one already. Choices I've made and what developed me to see who I am. So I love that one. Then we've got another one: truth, heavily influenced. But I can't fully say the things that I've changed doesn't come from the past trauma or experiences. I make different decisions because I've changed for me. In every season, I learn how to love me and remove negative. I feel like anything I'm feeling in my soul today is because I needed wholeheartedly and or I just needed to laugh to move on from a heavy emotion. God, that's good. When I sit at a table that I'm invited to, I am there to listen. Come on. Now, if what I am being fed something real and it is, I think she meant to say good for the soul, okay, from God, or I'm eating. But if it is not good for me, I'll observe and leave the table with food for thought. That's good for the day and maybe even a girlfriend topic. Another one. Honestly, I've never started at a clean canvas. I've been able to remove things I noticed were not good for me and she's those things off or shush those things off, but I've never taken a moment to start from a blank. I know what you meant, scratch it off from a blank canvas. Another one, I can't truly answer that with yes, because my sisters in each season start with a word like confidence. How do I build this again? Or warrior, educational pieces that I'm learning and experiencing from before. Another one, not truly from scratch, but lessons learned. Okay, it's so pretty. Thank you for the hair. Thank you, thank you. And that you love the Paul, you get it, AKA, I love that. And then another one, no ma'am, we are not going out to eat and or catering for the family. That's not tasteless. That's thinking ahead and taking care of her emotions and mental state of mind. She shouldn't have to cook. Amen. All right, you guys. So I'm excited because our next topic, and I'm just laying the foundation, is we're going to dive into whose cup is this? This is where I want to make sure that before the new year, because this is the time that we're making decisions, making New Year's resolutions, taking a look at our life, taking a look at what happened to us this year. And for a lot of us, we go way back past the year because we still got those baggages still sitting there. We open them back up. And we go through them looking for things, like I heard earlier, to remove things that shouldn't be there. And this is the time that we are making the most decisions in our life. And that we are making a decision as to what we're going to take with us, what we're going to leave, what we're going to do next year, what we're not going to do. And we are setting an image of what we are going to become and what our life is going to look like. And it is imperative today more than ever, and not just because of the mic drop moment of my friend, but because of the reality. And every statistic shows it. There are so many things I read today, and I wasn't going to go just all the way down from even the mental altercation that our mind, our neurological mind, with all this information that we read, whether it's good or bad, taking in all of that more than 7-11 hours. Oh my goodness. They say that we should only be taking in information of data and digital social media 2.5 hours a day. We are 5 times that overload or 4 times that overload, and that's for a lot of us. I want to make sure that when you set your goals and you think about your life, that it's your life, that it's about you, that it's for you and no one else, and that through all these influences that we have, that the image that you're painting, that you're thinking of and that you're dreaming has nothing to do with anybody else. It's not an image of anybody else. It's an image of just you. And why? Because that's where the worth and the value is. That's where everything is added unto, is you and no one else. So I love you guys. Have a great evening. Again, excited about this one. Get ready for next week, because that's probably where you're going to see, oh gosh, there she is. Because we've got one more week before we get to all this Christmas and holiday cheer. And I've got to make sure that I close this chapter of this focus because we start a new one at the beginning of the year. I want to close it out strong. So please make sure if you're watching this that you share it. Share it now. Again, it may be for somebody who's having a moment like my 3 clients where they need a message just like this to tell them to do them, love them, be about them because they are worth everything. Bye-bye, you guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you right here next week.